Most mornings, I woke up and thought, what am I even doing with my life? I could only rage quit Dark Souls so many times before the game started sending me passive-aggressive messages, so I figured I need a new thrill. Or alternatively, I could start an OnlyFans and take photos of my feet. I'd make at least 50p, but after a heavy dose of caffeine and a suspicious amount of chocolate, a brilliant idea hit me like a high-speed crash in a racing game. Sim racing! I was going to become a digital speed demon. I dove into Automobilista 2, but after a while, I realised it was like drinking lukewarm coffee. Meh, not really hitting the spot. Then I tried Race Room and R Factor 2. Cheap thrills, but not enough to make my palms sweat. No, I was craving more. Something that would make me feel like I was in a high-speed chase while simultaneously questioning every life decision I've ever made. Jesus fucking Christ, how much? Alright, let's do it. Oh, hello everybody and welcome to Dadly Driving. Today we're playing some iRacing and we're going around the Laguna Seca in the Ray Formula 1600. This here is my very first race in a Formula car. I actually started playing the game on November the 26th. I'd actually taken on one oval race. I started in 6th, finished 10th. And after that I took on a race in the Mazda MX-5 on the Summit Point Raceway. We started 4th, we finished 10th. Yeah, it didn't start out well for me. One of the things with racing in the rookies is of course everyone else is a rookie. And some of the other drivers out there are freaking nuts, let's be honest here. Most of them are just coming over from playing Forza, Gran Turismo. Also, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel, and also if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So what can you expect from Dadly Driving apart from, well, some pretty bad driving? So on this channel we're actually playing some WRC as well as some Assetto Corsa Competizione, and we're also probably going to be checking out the new Assetto Corsa as well as some Rennsport and a few other games. As you can see, we did make a big mistake there. We collided with that car. At the time I really did feel terrible, as I do expect better from myself. This is where so many crashes occur. Coming to the channel pretty soon, we're going to have some epic crash videos. So if you enjoy watching people crash and burn and fail, then definitely subscribe for more. Given that I've had zero experience apart from just doing the qualifying in this car, I think that I started off rather well, starting in 3rd, but then we had that mishap. But if it weren't for that, I would have done quite well. So I'd like to know, how many of you have played this game or any other racing game and you failed? After starting so well, you've actually failed and ended up near the back or even at very last place. If anyone watching this is actually another sim racer, I'd love to know, what setup are you using? And also, do you have any tips for me? Also, I should point out that this video is quite old and you'll notice a vast difference in my driving in the next few videos. But still, tips are always appreciated. It's very true, I did start sim racing only in November. Before that, I was just playing shooters and horror games. And I did just wake up one day and start looking at some racing games and a few racing setups. I didn't want to spend too much on a steering wheel in case I didn't enjoy myself. So I just ordered the Logitech G920. So I played a few games and I really enjoyed myself. But I'd heard so much about iRacing. The thing that really put me off with iRacing is the subscription and also the fact that you've got to buy the cars and the tracks. But then again, you don't have to buy every car and every track in the game to play it. You can still enjoy the game. You can still just get a basic subscription for a month and see if it's for you or not. It turns out it was for me. I watched so many hours of tutorials on like pretty much doing your trail braking and other tutorials on how to control the cars, and I'm still not a great driver. I'm still learning. I hope you'll join me for this video series as we try and break our way out of rookies and try and get our D license and start earning some I rating, and then hopefully go on towards a C license. That would be epic. I'd love to get that. So my fellow racers out there, when you play racing games, do you go for a particular car make or model? Also, is there a particular race you enjoy doing the most? For me, I do enjoy racing in the Mazda MX-5, just going around in the rookies. And at the moment, for the Formula cars, I enjoy the F4. So that's a good hint of things that are coming to the channel. Here's a big question. What actually got you started on your sim racing journey? That's for anyone who actually plays with a sim rig, or even for those who are just playing with a controller, doing Forza or whatever else it is out there that you can play with a controller. I'd love to know what got you started. Have you always been passionate about cars, sim racing, Formula 1? Also, who's actually going to be watching the Formula 1 season when it starts? I don't know when this video is coming out. Maybe the season's already started. I've got no idea. So which team or driver do you support? For me, I actually support McLaren. When it comes to the Formula cars, driving this, the 1600 and the V, they're really good to learn in. They don't have an awful lot of speed, but that's the best way to get started. You can take quite a lot of corners flat out or just slightly lift off. One thing they do quite often is bite you in the arse when you're least expecting it. It's a real learning experience driving these. It's a big learning experience. I mentioned earlier that I like racing in the Mazda MX-5. Something I have never actually raced in, but I've done lots of test driving for, is the Radical, and I can't get enough of that thing. It's such a rocket. It is amazing, and if you handle it just right, it will serve you well. If anyone would like me to do videos on Rensport or Race Room, then let me know. So Rensport did release a little while ago, and I was lucky enough to actually get early access to the game. And for that I actually got an additional car. It's a BMW. So anyone who's actually played this game knows exactly what the BMWs can be like. And for one of the recent updates, they actually give you a new BMW, and it handles like a boat with wheels, driving over oil. So it got me thinking, what do you think is the worst car to drive in this game? And what do you think is the best and easiest to drive? One thing I can honestly say about this game is this is by far and away the toughest online game I've ever played. Even though I've only played a few of them, this one here is the best of them all. So after that collision, we've just headed off back to the pits to get our car fixed. And yeah, just skip ahead for that bit so you don't have to sit through the entire thing. Given this is my first Formula experience, things just went from bad to worse. I'm aware that the collisions that did occur, some of them were my fault. I raise my hands to that. It is one of the unfortunate things with racing in the rookies, is you're probably going to crash a lot. And if you don't, someone's likely going to crash into you. Well, there you have it. That's the end of the race. We were never going to catch up to them. The crashes that happened, it was so unfortunate. But that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes, especially when you're playing in the rookies. Okay, and here's the results. Right, so we lost a little bit of our safety rating. Those crashes, I span out, crashed. So many bad things happened during that race, and I'd rather forget about it all. But yeah, here we go. Christian was the winner, then Ricardo, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, credit where credit's due. There you go. As you can see, this is quite an old recording. We're actually on week 4 of Season 1 in 2025. If you want to see some more deadly driving, go check out those cards. And I'll see you over there. Yeah, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel and smash like and do all those good things. And don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss whenever a video comes out. Well, thank you so much for watching, and always remember to drive deadly.